We begin our ceremony today with the singing of the national anthem. Men should remove their hats, and Senior Tiffany Skinner will lead the singing. Please be seated. Faculty, students, parents and relatives, distinguished guests, and friends of the university, I am delighted to welcome you to the 184th Commencement of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. This year is the 144th anniversary of the founding of the first normal school in the state of Wisconsin. That was the birth of what has become today's University of Wisconsin-Platteville. During these 144 years, over 50,000 students have received their degrees from this outstanding university. At this ceremony, we will confer 151 master's degrees and just over 340 bachelor's degrees. At this afternoon ceremony, we will confer 400 bachelor's degrees. Today, in total, we will award nearly 900 degrees. With a commencement during December, which is also during this academic year, a total of 1,300 students will have earned their degrees from this university. There are a number of people who have joined us who deserve special recognition. We are particularly pleased to welcome candidates who are earning their degrees through our online master's programs. For many, this is the first time they have been on the Platteville campus. I met many of these graduates last night and their families. We truly hope that you will return to our campus in the future for special events, on a vacation or holiday, or to bring a prospective student to our campus. We also extend a special welcome to the master's students who are enrolled in UWP's Master of Science in Education, Teaching English as a Foreign Language program that we offer in South Central University for Nationalities in Wuhan, China. You have been on our campus since late January, completing your seminar papers. We know that today's ceremony is symbolic for you, and we look forward to seeing you in Wuhan, China on June 12th, when your degrees will be conferred. Behind me, you see the flags of 29 nations. We live, work, and learn in a global community. Platteville has a number of international partners, and we are committed to internationalizing our campus and our academic programs. The flags represent the home countries of our current student body, 29 countries. We offer special recognition to our graduates who have studied abroad and to our international students. They are wearing special stoles, either displaying the flag of the country where they studied, or in the case of international students, they wear a stole displaying the U.S. flag and a flag of their home country. We also offer a special welcome to the families of our international graduates. We know that you have traveled very far for this ceremony. Commencement is a celebration of accomplishment, of success. It is a time for students, faculty, family, and friends to remember and to anticipate the future as these candidates accept their degrees and their new roles as alumni of this institution. Graduates, today is truly your special day. Today you begin a new phase of your life, and we offer our sincere congratulations to all. The graduating senior chosen to deliver the address today is Mr. George Katsy. George has earned his degree in technology education. He is graduating summa cum laude, having earned the Chancellor's Honors 4 times and Dean's Honors 3 times during his college career. George was a member of the Pioneer football team for the last 4 years and served as captain during this past year. He wrote the first ever blog for the team, sharing his personal thoughts and feelings about the team's experience. George has also been an active member of UWP's Student Ambassador Corps, serving in a number of leadership roles, including president. George has a passion for working with children. He has been coaching the Darlington High School freshman boys basketball team since 2007. He has worked in our area public schools during the majority of his college career. A graduate of Cambria-Friesland High School, George is relocating to the state of Virginia. We extend our best wishes to him as he seeks employment as a teacher. Congratulations, George. We look forward to your message. Mr. George Katsy.
Good morning. Thanks. On behalf of the graduating class of 2010, I would like to thank all of you for attending this year's graduation ceremony. Being only minutes away from graduating, we often wonder where the time has gone. As I reflect on my time at UW-Platteville, I'm indebted for what this university has done for me. I am grateful for my well-rounded education, and even more grateful for the numerous opportunities and experiences to grow and mature into a successful adult. As a member of the football team, I was taught the importance of teamwork, dedication, positive thinking, and how to respond instead of react. Professors taught me the importance of time management and great study habits. Group organizations taught me the importance of networking and collaborating within the community. While my church and Christian friends taught me the importance of having a personal relationship with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. As one matures, we begin to see our world for what it truly is, and not as the fairy tale that we once believed it to be. Our world consists of rights that have never been so extensively defined for so many. The rights of ethnic minorities, of women, children, of single parents, of workers, consumers, and the unwaged, of animals and plants, and even the right to claim compensation when your rights are violated. For example, here's a list of some ridiculous lawsuits that have been in the news recently dealing with the suspected violation of one's rights. In 1991, a man sued Anheuser-Busch for $10,000. He claimed to have suffered emotional distress, mental injury, and financial loss because his fantasies of beautiful women in tropical settings did not come to life as he claimed it had advertised. In 2000, a woman sued Universal Studios for $15,000. She claimed to have suffered extreme fear, mental anguish, and emotional distress due to visiting Universal Studios' Halloween Horror Nights haunted house, which she said was too scary. And my personal favorite, while attempting to moon someone out of his fourth-story dorm room, an Idaho student lost his balance and fell, injuring himself. He sued the university for not warning him of the dangers of living on the fourth floor. Who would have imagined that gravity had such an impact? Could this focus on rights have some adverse effects, or is it creating a better society? Surely we should all be happier by now, but society is increasingly self-centered and dangerous, and happiness for many is more elusive than ever. Yet it never seems like enough, and so the laws continue to roll out like ripples in a pond, ever wider in scope. To compensate for this, manufacturers are being forced to cover their tails by providing insightful warning labels on their products. Here are a few. A label on a baby stroller warns, "Remove child before folding." I pity the poor kid. A brass fishing lure with a 3-pronged hook on the end warns, "Harmful if swallowed." A cartridge for a laser printer warns, "Do not eat toner." Thanks for the reminder. A household iron warns users, "Never iron clothes while they are being worn." Well, duh. A dishwasher carries this warning, "Do not allow children to play in the dishwasher." This was probably written for the same person who folded their kid in the stroller. As laws, proclamations, and politically correct pressure groups continue to impose rights, it is a sure sign that we are forgetting how the very freedoms we take for granted were preserved through centuries. Whatever happened to following the words of John F. Kennedy, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country"? Apart from a few brave and increasingly lonely voices, the moral groundwork of society that were once considered every person's solemn duty to uphold are being uprooted. W.A. Borst wrote of the United States, "A nation which had set up a near-perfect and flexible government is now finding common sense more endangered than the snail darter. This lack of common sense has led inevitably to a rights revolution where only selfish and personal interests seem to reign supreme." Responsibilities are not primarily about ensuring that others enjoy the same rights as oneself, but rather about exercising social restraint so that others do not bear costs and penalties for one's own actions, decisions, and lifestyle choices. In earlier stages, people expected others to behave in the best interest of society. It worked because there was a clear understanding that responsibility before God and man and for one's own actions trumped rights every time. Looking back on the past 4 years, I realize how different my life would have been if it were not for so many upholding their responsibility. The first group of people that come to mind is our parents and their responsibility as being a parent. My mom had her right to take a break as soon as I left for college. After all, she has put up with me for the past 18 years. And why should she have to worry about me anymore? I can hear her now. I have dumped more money into that kid, changed his diapers, washed his dishes, did his laundry, carted him all over for his events, and how has he repaid me? I mean, do you see these gray hairs? Thankfully, this was not the case. In my past 4 years of college, I have never felt more loved, supported, and appreciated in my life. My successes were her successes, and my hurts hers as well. We all have these special people in our lives that never gave up on us, even when we felt like giving up on ourselves. Many of them are here today with us to celebrate this testament in our lives. Please join me in thanking our parents. The second group of people that come to mind is our faculty and staff. I am sure they often wondered if we would ever understand the simple concepts they were trying to teach. I can see the frustration now. After all, I worked hard to get my PhD, so why should I worry about the problems of a little student? Once again, I am truly grateful that this was not the case. They had a right to be impatient with us, but never lost sight of their responsibility as professors. Some of my greatest memories are with those who hold a high position in this college that took the time to help me mature and grow into a young adult. I might have a hard time recalling your lectures, but the life lessons I have learned will never be forgotten. Please join me in thanking our professors. There are also certain responsibilities that I believe we should all encompass as Americans. One of these responsibilities is the responsibility to be grateful. As Americans, we have been blessed in many ways. It is only by the grace of God that we were born in this country where countless opportunities to succeed in prosperity are right at the ends of our fingertips. We live in a country where freedom reigns and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is available to all. This pursuit of happiness is often misunderstood as too often we get wrapped up in our right to be happy instead of our responsibility to make others happy. The onus of personal responsibility for one's conscious actions in America is fading and fading fast. Many of the hardships that we face today evolved from the self-centered decisions of people only looking out for themselves and not for the good of the general public. We search for answers to solve our problems overnight, but forget that it took our country decades to get in our current situation. We can all agree that changes need to be made, but no change will come until action takes place. My dream is to watch the news when I'm 60 and see how different the world is and know that it was our generation that decided to take that stand. It was our generation that stuck our foot in the ground, stared opposition in the face, stopped all momentum pushing back, and didn't flinch. I might not be able to reap the benefits of the change I helped create, but is this not my responsibility as a parent, as a professional, as an American, a citizen of the world? In the Bible, the greatest book ever written, it says, "Let no man despise thy youth, but be an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in love, in spirit, in faith, and in purity." What is the example that we are setting for others? We might be young, but we are knowledgeable. Don't let the people of this world condemn you simply because you are young. As we go our separate ways, I pray that we can be the example America needs by fulfilling our civil duty in preserving our responsibilities. Our future depends on it. Thank you.
Thank you, George. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. John Silseth, our principal speaker for this morning's ceremony. John is president of Antietam LLC, a private investment firm headquartered in Milwaukee. Founded in 1986, the company's basic philosophy is to make long-term investments oriented toward continued growth and development. John also serves as president of Market Street Investors. He has executive-level experience in risk management, a strong background in financial reporting, accounting, and financial controls, significant governance experience through service on numerous boards, and experience in mergers and acquisitions. A UWP alumnus, John earned his bachelor's degree in 1978, graduating with majors in business, economics, and accounting. He continued his education at UW-Madison, earning an MBA in finance and international business. John serves on the board of First Business Financial Services. Additionally, he chairs the board of directors of First Business Bank in Milwaukee. John is a member of the World Presidents Organization, providing leadership for a group of Wisconsin's chapters. He is also active in a number of not-for-profit groups, including the UW-Platteville Alumni Association. John, thank you for speaking to our graduates and our guests. We look forward to your message.
You are a good-looking crowd. Good morning, graduates, guests, faculty, and staff. I'm honored to be one of the first to congratulate the class of 2010. Parents, that includes you. It's amazing to see your child graduate, I know. 3 years ago, I was the proud parent watching my daughter receive her diploma. It is really a great feeling. And to echo George, It's a perfect time, graduates, to thank your parents. Their love, support, most importantly, their financial investment helped get to this point today. Let's give them a big round of applause. But graduates, today, as you know, is really about you. 32 years ago, I was sitting where you are, part of UW-Platteville's class of 1978. I can tell you from experience that you're going to receive a lot of advice from family and friends if you haven't already. And I'm going to add to that briefly here today, beginning with this. Now that you've succeeded, don't be afraid to fail. I say this from the perspective of a businessman, a serial entrepreneur, a risk taker in many things. I've had some big failures, but some even bigger successes. All have come from three keys: persistence, passion, and community. Those failures I just mentioned, they included losing more than $1 million in embezzled funds to a trusted employee with a gambling problem, to being on the hook for $150 million when a rail car leasing company I'm a partner in hit shaky ground. So when I say I've had some even bigger successes compared to those, you can get a sense of how truly blessed I feel by the turns my life has taken and the opportunities presented to me. Back in 1973, I came to Platteville at the suggestion of Joan and Chuck Collins, neighbors where I grew up in Milwaukee. Chuck was a professor in geography. Joan worked at the business school. I'm real glad I took their advice. For me, Platteville was terrific. The setting was and still is beautiful. I became an RA, joined ROTC, served in many student government organizations, was involved in the formation of SUFAC, which still exists today. I met my beautiful wife, Karen, here along with other young men and women who became lifelong friends. And oh yeah, I got an education, graduating with several majors and near minors in art and French. I went on to receive my Master's of Business Administration, spent time training with the Army, then returned to Milwaukee with no job. 7 years of college, multiple degrees, no job. I decided my best chance was to find an accounting job. So I canvassed all the big accounting firms in the Milwaukee area at the time, including Price Waterhouse, which quickly responded with a rejection letter. I called the human resources guy there, Robert Schrader, and explained that they should at least have a conversation with me. I kept Bob on the phone for 20 minutes, asking him a variety of questions. He acquiesced and invited me in for a cup of coffee. That coffee lasted 7 hours, and at the end of the day, I was hired. Now, I'm sure Price Waterhouse was shorthanded. And frankly, I didn't have a clue of what I was getting myself into. My passion then was to get a job. It didn't matter that I wasn't sure what large accounting firms actually did. It's funny because when I first started, I felt like a very underutilized MBA who ran errands, made copies, got coffee, and food for people. But I worked hard, was promoted quickly, and felt my passion for the accounting business evolve into a passion to own my own business. So passion is an interesting concept. Everyone will say that you have to have a passion. What are you passionate about, they'll ask. Some of you have the gift of knowing already, many of you don't, and that's okay. My spin on it is this: be open to a passion, and be open to the possibility that you don't know or haven't discovered what it is. My passion is my business and relationships. My real passion is the people I work with every day in those businesses. But I don't know any of that. I didn't know any of that in the 1970s, when I was sitting where you are today. Here's an example. In 1986, a client of mine planted the idea that we form a partnership to acquire and develop long-term assets, essentially launch our own private equity firm. We started Market Street Investors that year, and through various iterations and changes, it's become Antietam. 3 of the original 5 partners remain. We have purchased and started many businesses. We've sold several companies. I've made some Wallapalooza investment decisions and have found that always you learn more from the risks you take and the mistakes you make than when it all goes right. When we are in a difficult situation or a very positive situation, one of my partners, Jay Emling, frequently will say, "This will make a great story." Your own story will be a great one too, especially if you allow chances for the exceptional to happen, are persistent in helping those chances occur, and grab onto those opportunities with all the passion in your being. It doesn't matter if that means buying your first investment property with your credit card or taking a pretty girl named Karen dancing for 30 days in a row. And I speak of those from experience. Your greatest stories will come from answering those calls you hear, not in letting them pass you by. And you can do that because of the final key I want to impress upon you, and that's community. We each belong to a number of communities. It's where you live, it's who you share your life with, it's family, it's friends, it's co-workers and softball team members, and now for you, the vast network of UW-Platteville alumni. These are the people who give you a pass when you fail, who pick you up when you reach for something and fall, who celebrate your successes not because of what you did, but because of who you are. In my own life, that community includes my wife, Karen, the kindest, most generous person I know. Whenever we bet the farm on a business venture, she will say, we can always work at a restaurant. My parents, Marty and Vera, my father was a Lutheran pastor who worked at Lutheran Social Services for many years. He would call every night to tell Karen and me that he loved us and was proud of us. Dad was a cheerleader for us until the day he died, and my mom continues to be in our corner today. My in-laws, my children, Jennifer and John Bryan, my sisters, nephews, and nieces, they all love us unconditionally. The professors who were very concerned for my success here at Platteville, as well as my fellow Platteville students. The RA super staff who to this day have gotten together every year since graduation and remain among my closest friends in the world. Then there's the community of friends and business partners. Folks like Jay Emling, Pep Stojanovic, a 6'3" Eastern European soccer player and security guard I met many years ago, who is now one of my closest business associates. The Young Presidents Organization Forum, too, is a group of like-minded business leaders I belong to that has demonstrated that confidentiality is liberating. And now there's you, the class of 2010. Together, we now share the experience of being Platteville alum. My community is your community. And to welcome you in a proper fashion, I asked a few of the members of your new extended community what their advice would be for you. My mom says, God goes with you wherever you go. Joe Crawford, the CEO of Casgro Rail, suggests, try to avoid stressing out and says hard work will result in success. Technologist and entrepreneur John Howman swears by getting a graduate degree. If you can't get a job, he says, get experience. Norm Dow, retired CEO of Pieper Electric and an absolutely delightful person, asks, how will you help your brothers? He's involved greatly with Engineers Without Borders. My business partner and CEO of Prince Corp, Jay, reminds you to stay grounded and watch your credit. Henry McGovern, the CEO of Amerirest, founded a chain of fast food restaurants in Poland. In a country where it takes months to get a telephone, his company motto became, everything is possible. He employs now 18,000 people. Terry Vossen, who owns an accounting firm right here in Platteville, says to make sure your priorities are right. My associate, Pep Stojanovic, has quite a bit to say. Pep says, be careful not to become thankless. Be willing to help out for free. At all costs, be truthful and forthright, and get your citizenship. Thanks, Pep. My father-in-law, Marv, has a piece of information that he neither shared with my wife or she never heeded. That advice is to marry rich. Now, here are my closing thoughts. Be grateful for all things, even when you don't feel grateful. We are all so blessed to be here today. Be forgiving and don't hold grudges. It removes the power of the slight. Be committed to every positive relationship in your life, even when you don't want to be. Have a bias towards action. Be persistent. Don't be discouraged. And when you get a job, let it help you develop a passion in life. That's my story. Here's to the next chapter in your story. Echoing thousands of alumni before you, congratulations. Welcome to my community. To represent that new unifying connection, I ask that you each grab the hand of the person next to you. And I'd like to close this morning with a small Irish blessing. May God grant you always a sunbeam to warm you, a moonbeam to charm you, a sheltering angel so nothing can harm you, laughter to cheer you, faithful friends near you, and whenever you pray, heaven to hear you. Congratulations, grads. Thank you, and God's peace be with you.
Thank you, John. Each year, our faculty and the Alumni Association recognize alumni who have brought honor to this university. Since the alumni include winners of the Nobel and Pulitzer Prizes, members of the U.S. Congress and Wisconsin legislature, and presidents of major corporations, the choices are never easy. Today, we honor two distinguished alumni as models for this graduating class and in recognition of their achievements and contributions. I will introduce the honorees and ask that each come forward and stand next to me on the stage. Audience, I ask that you hold your applause until both are introduced. Biographies of the honorees are listed in your commencement program. Mr. Richard Ade, class of 1965 and 1973. Mr. Ade served the Waupun Area School District for 32 years as the Agriculture Education Instructor, FFA Advisor, Local Vocational Education Coordinator, and Safety Director. Additionally, he served his colleagues in agriculture and students throughout the state as the Executive Secretary of the Wisconsin FFA for 19 years and as the Executive Director of the Wisconsin's Association of Agricultural Educators for 17 years. He has been honored locally, regionally, and nationally for his work in agriculture education and for his service for agriculturalists. Mr. John Silseth, class of 1978. You have previously met John, our principal speaker, and the president of Antietam LCCC. Richard and John, our congratulations and appreciation to each of you. Your accomplishments have brought honors to you and to your alma mater. Mr. Josh Saylor, president of UW-Platteville Alumni Association, will now announce the awards of the alumni life memberships.
Chancellor Butts, Provost, University Deans, faculty and staff, family and guests of today's graduates, on behalf of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, it is indeed my pleasure and my honor to congratulate the May 2010 commencement class. You have now become part of the rich history and traditions of our university. As I listen to George and John talk and think about the great things and all the work that you put in, I'm going to make this really easy for you. You've spent years trying to figure out what your professors want from you. What do you need to do to write that paper? How are you going to pull an A or a B or maybe a C sometimes? I'll clear it up right now what you can expect from the Alumni Association. We want you to be involved. We want you to be an advocate for UW-Platteville. You can join Alum Nation, our exclusive online community. You can follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn, and as John mentioned, tap into that network of thousands of UW-Platteville alumni across the world. And maybe that's to expand your opportunities for jobs, hobbies, travel, or learn your way around wherever it is you're going to live next month. George will be in Virginia. You can probably call him up. If you seek opportunities to serve, there's options for you to volunteer to serve on your college alumni chapter board, or you can plan to attend alumni events in your area. Come back for the BILSA golf outing in June or homecoming in October. Reconnect with your friends, with your graduates here today. There's many ways to stay connected and be an active alum. Most importantly, know that as you leave here, you leave as a member of a renowned group, capable of achieving whatever you set your sights on. At this time, I'd like to recognize the graduates that have been selected to receive an honorary lifetime membership into the Alumni Association. The UW-Platteville Alumni Association annually recognizes outstanding graduates with the Lifetime Pioneer Award by awarding them life membership in the Alumni Association, a $400 value. The award is based on a variety of criteria, including campus activities, leadership, community involvement, professional development and employment, academic excellence, and probability of future involvement in the Alumni Association. For this semester, we have selected 6 individuals as recipients. Those graduating this morning include Hannah Diebold. And Hannah, you can rise. We'll recognize you. Thank you. Hannah is a business administration major from Arcadia, Wisconsin. The second recipient, Nathan Blankenheim. Nate is a biology major from Madison, Wisconsin. Congratulations, Hannah and Nate, and congratulations to all the graduates this morning. As you start the next chapter of your life, take pride in the degree you received today. We're proud to call all of you UW-Platteville alumni. Thank you.
We are extremely proud of all of our graduates and will shortly recognize each of them. However, I would like to give special recognition to the groups who have distinguished themselves throughout their academic career. The undergraduate students graduating with academic honors are designated with asterisks in the commencement program and are wearing gold honor stoles. Will those individuals who have achieved highest honors and are graduating summa cum laude please rise and remain standing? These students, These students have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.75 and a perfect 4. Now, will those students who have achieved honors and are graduating magna cum laude please rise and remain standing? These students have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.5 and 3.74. Please join me in acknowledging the accomplishments of this very special group of graduates. Now, will all the individuals who are about to receive bachelor's and master's degrees please stand? Chancellor, as Provost, I certify that the candidates standing before you have completed the curricula prescribed by the university faculty for the degrees of Master of Science in Education, Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Science, and are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon certification by the Provost and Vice Chancellor that you have completed the requirements established by the university faculty for the various degrees, and the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree which you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending hereto. Congratulations, and please be seated. As we begin awarding the degrees, I ask that everyone show respect for the graduates and for those seated near you. We know this is an exciting time, and we expect some celebration. However, we ask that the celebration be respectful. All here are anxious to hear the name of their special graduate. So please refrain from using artificial noisemakers that can be so loud that others cannot hear the name of their loved one. Will the deans now present the degree recipients?
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture please stand? Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture. Will the recipients please come forward?
George Weston Katsky. Carl Eric Smorstead. Alan Michael Ballweg. Samantha Colleen Brame. Brock Walker. Chelsea Carol Walker. Lindsay Marie Alland. Aaron R. Aspenson. Daniel Richard Austin. Nicholas Mark Barden. Brian Dwayne Bark. Randall Martin Botts. Travis John Beck. Keith Wayne Becker. Jody Marie Belkin. Chad R. Berge. Heather Ray Berry. Brandon Cameron Bishop. Bradley David Blankenberg. Nathan Anthony Blankenheim. Carly Alice Bacher. Heather Louise Bodenbender. Amy Lynn Bolton. Gregory Charles Bopes. Allison Sophie Borowski. Jennifer H. Bossard. Tyler John Brandt. Brooke Marie Brandt. Allison Mary Bratz. Erica Renee Briggs. Benjamin Owen Brooks. Ian Clark Brown. Jeremy Paul Bruzowitz. Andrew Dennis Bruner. Ross Andrew Brunsman. Adam Lee Buss. Andrew Douglas Busson. Brandon G. Busson. Benjamin D. Butts. Ryan Callender. Garrett R. Carlson. Kimberly B. Sentner. Raymond Lee Churchill. Jan Elizabeth Clark. Jill Marie Clark. Jennifer Christina May Cole. Michael Carl Connor. Scott Allen Couturier, Jr. Robert J. Crowley. Gregory Robert Kiro. Christine Lynn Curry. Hannah Mae Daniels. Emily Claire Darvin. Alicia Renee Davis. Mitchell Mark Dean. Eric M. DeLee. Shilling Deng. Ezra D. Deutsch. Hannah Marie Diebold. Stephen Anthony Digman. Brad John Diestelman. Zachary Stephen Dittburner. Drew Frederick Dival. Justin Reynolds Doyle. Matthew A. Drake. Tyson Thomas Dressler. Kevin John Durst. Matthew Jacob Dunwitty. Heather Ann Doas. Jonathan P. Ebert. Jenna Jo Alinger. Rachel Lee Engelken. Nicholas Stephen Faber. Amber Marie Faherty. Charlie Edgar Fenton. David M. Fijalkowitz. Christina Fink. Thomas William Flatley. Shelby Lynn Fote. Aaron Michael Frock. Trevor John Francine. Henry Earl Freer. Jeremy Benjamin Geis. Reed William Gibbs. Matthew Jason Glute. Curtis James Gakey. Ryan Allen Gakey. Stacy Iris Grady. Ryan Timothy Grant. Stephen James Haldeman. Kyle Kevin Hamilton. Jessica Ann Harrington. Trent Larry Hebel. Scott Robert Heimerdinger. Michael Keith Helmrich. Ryan Patrick Page Hennessy. Kyle James Hoffman. Spencer Allen Haltis. Travis Joseph Hogue. Victoria Lynn Reiber. William David Earl Hutchinson. Brandon John Ingersoll. Ryan Charles Iserloth. Trevor James Jacobson. Patricia Renee Jones. Stephen Roger Jorgensen. Nathan Allen Joy. Patrick John Kaiser. Matthew James Carls. Donald Wilburn Kazel III. Jared Daniel Keene. Jeremy Joseph Keene. Patrick Bowden Kelly. Kevin P. Kirchner. Adam I. Khalifa. Shane Daniel Keeler. Gabriel J. Kijak. Robert D. Kinder. Zachary Stephen Kinraid. Lacey Lynette Claich. Danielle Michael Klein. Alex Ray Click. Kyle Christopher Clipping. Kristen Lee Kanak. Travis John Knauts. Ashley Marie Knitter. Nicholas Andrew Kosas. Lauren Ashley Kaloji. Alexander C. Cornelli. Dawn Nicole Kramer Messick. Daniel Francis Kramer. Jody Lynn Krautkramer. Kyle Wayne Cressy. Jason Darrell Kryl. Corey Allen Krieger. Mike Braden Kruger. Raquel Renee Cruzy. Michael Clayton Kuhn. Jacob David Kuchenreiter. Amy Bell Kwolek. Josh S. Langenfeld. Lindsay Ann Langer. Corey A. Larson. Isaac James Leary. Sarah Diane Lease. Stephanie May Lenzer. Amber Nicole Likens. Zachary Adam Lines. Lou Lore. Benjamin Gray Lusted. Patrick Lawrence Meyer. Jody M. Marshall. Shauna Elizabeth Martin. Melinda J. Muscagni. Jessica Kathleen Meyer. Jacob R. McCulley. Sean Michael McKernan. Eric M. Meister. Matthew David Melanson. Tyler Matthew Mentink. Paul William Mergen. Nick Andrew Middendorf. Jesse Bryant Milks. Seth Austin Mills. Demarcus Lee Mitchell. Eric Martin Moe. Kyle James Moeller. J. William Melling. John William Melling. Kurt Robert Mordenhauer. William Patrick Moore. Kayla Ann Moret. Benjamin Scott Mescal. Jeffrey R. Mueller. Samantha Rose Mum. Emily Christine Munson. Tanner Lucas Murr. Ryan Ronald Nell. Adam Jeffrey Nelson. Drew John Nessemeyer. John C. Newman. Thomas Gerald Opright. Kelsey May Osterberger. Amanda Jo Paffhausen. Jordan Paul Pishaw. Nicholas Edward Peterson. Michael Stephen Pettit. Tanya Jean Fohl. Blake James Pickle. Heather Marie Pitts. Theodore John Polk. Susan R. Ponzi. Amanda Rose Prang. Benjamin D. Prindle. Jeffrey C. Pritchett. Melissa K. Rako. Neil Daniel Rich. Rachel Rosemary Reed. Nicholas Clarence Ryder. Kit Christiane Riener. Jamie Lee Rindy. Emma K. Risley. Jacob Michael Robinson. Carrie Marie Roof. Holly Ann Rumbuck. Paul Theodore Saz. Scott Joseph Solway. Peter Bergstrom Sassman. Cynthia Lynn Sawatsky. Patrick Joseph Scheel. Matthew Joseph Schlechter. Tony Michael Schlafly. Nathan Zane Schlavine. Alex Edward Schmidt. Lucas John Schmitz. Joshua David Schneider. Amber Rose Schneller. Daniel John Schober. Ryan Edward Schrader. Lance Michael Schumann. Ryan Daniel Schutte. Samantha Lynn Sussing. Timothy Allen Shervin. Brent Nicholas Shipman. Valerie M. Silk. Cody Michael Sorgi. Travis Quinn Spursberg. Alexander Richard Stark. Lara Danielle Steinbach. Renee Andrea Sternhagen. Tyler Allen Stieber. Courtney Lynn Steimart. Alexander Michael Stolzo. Elizabeth Carol Ann Strelo. Amanda K. Swartz. Elise Claire Tollard. Amber Marie Taylor. Kyle Dennis Tetchlog. Zachary Thomas Thompson. Nicholas Allen Tibbett. Sarah Murdoch Timmerman. Evan Ray Trenkamp. Stephanie Ann Tronis. Allison E. Twombly. Sherry G. Velasic. Ashley Lene Vandezand. Brooke Rochelle Vandezand. Alan Thomas Vilter. Albert Joseph Vogt. Jessica Lee Vretner. Rebecca Sue Wallenhorst. Joanna E. Wasink. Brendan Robert Watson. Jordan M. Way. Elizabeth Susan Wayman. Jillian Gail Wire. Ashley Ann Weissman. Nathan Thomas Welch. Carissa Mary Wepking. Dawn Elise Wheeler. Heather Joy White. Matthew K. Wickman. Arlie Marie Wills. Amanda O. Wilson. Tyler Allen Wilson. Lucas Allen Wojcik. Bruce Allen Wolter. Megan Helene Yeager. D.C. Yang. Vang Pao Yang. Elizabeth Mandy Zeman. Santino Zizzo.
On behalf of the faculty and staff, congratulations and best wishes. Please be seated.
Will the recipients of the master's degrees please stand? Chancellor, as Dean of the School of Graduate Studies and representing the graduate faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education from the School of Graduate Studies. Will the recipients please come forward? And for the audience, let me just note that as they come forward that we will hood each candidate individually as part of the traditional ceremony of graduate degree awards. The significance of academic attire is explained in more detail for you on page 46 of your program.
Britt Adair. Lori A. Anderson. Tracy L. Atkinson. David Bagnario. Matthew J. Barnes. Sarah E. Baumstark. Lindsay Jane Marie Becker. Emily Banky. Eric S. Biney. Carrie Ellen Bell. Heather L. Brink. Shelley J. Brookins. Erica K. Brunson. Melissa L. Bunch. Dana Lee Cecil. Sergio D. Seren. Li Chen. Zhongxiang Chen. Lori A. Christensen. Tiana Ann Conway. Teresa Erickson. Rayhan Jamerson. Janelle K. Gallatin. Manaz Ganjin. Pyun Gong. Sarah Tiffany Gropp. Matthew J. Grazer. Travis Dale Graham. Craig A. Habeck. Mary A. Harvey. Ida B. Hayes Murphy. Susan L. Hentz. Chandra Henderson. Kaya Hendrickson. Jason A. Holtz. Chuan Jen Huang. Gerald Thomas Hunt. Ying Zhang. Jennifer S. Johnson. Ivy Fox Joseph. Bradley Stephen Curl. Thomas J. Kretschmann. Shi Lan. Charlie D. Leffler. Gary Eugene Lewis. Chang Liu. Fang Liu. Ying Lo. Autumn Marzette Bell. Maria Menster. Eriko Miata. Manching Mu. Teresa Marie Mullings. Michael J. Neerad Jr. Roxana Adana Wachuku. Heidi Onischuk. Sheila M. Parrish Spence. D. Cho. Jenny Lynn Rao. Nicole D. Schleicher. Gregory John Strelitz. Deanna Suggs. Katie Telford. Shane Tomes. Michelle R. Tollefson. Samantha A. Tower. Jamie Lynn Treitler. Paul Ryan Vandevender. Sharon R. Walker. Hao Wang. Kyle V. Weber. Jeffrey A. Wing. Chang Shui Shang. Chun Ming Zhang. Hai Ying Zhang. Yo Xin Zhang. Chen Zhao. Xiao Yin So.
On behalf of the graduate faculty, congratulations on this milestone in your education, and congratulations to each of you. Please be seated.
This ceremony would not have been possible without the time and effort so generously given by a number of groups and individuals. The members of the Commencement Committee are listed in your program. Elizabeth Tucker, Director of Financial Aid, served as Commencement Marshal. The names of the graduates were read by David Kiekefer, Registrar. The student ambassadors distributed programs and organized seating for the audience. Our facilities staff, as well as the technical services and media staff, have attended to many details. Tiffany Skinner led the singing. The Symphonic Wind Ensemble, under the direction of Barry Ellis, deserves our appreciation for the music accompanying today's ceremony. Will the committee members, Ms. Tucker, Mr. Kiekefer, Ms. Skinner, the members of the Symphonic Wind Ensemble, the media and technology and technical services staff, our facilities staff, and the student ambassadors, please stand to be recognized. As we say farewell to our graduates, I want to give them the opportunity to recognize those who have guided them through their college life with gentle prodding and friendly assistance, the faculty and staff of this university. Would the faculty, staff, and administrators please rise to be recognized by the students? Today, we especially recognize the dedication and exemplary service of our colleagues who have retired or are retiring from their teaching or administrative duties prior to the beginning of the fall 2010 term. These individuals together have served the university and its students for 228 years. If you are here, would you please rise and remain standing when I call your name? Mr. Dale Bernie Bernhardt, Dr. Elizabeth Dewar, Mr. Mohan Gill, Ms. Kate Kelly, Dr. Thomas LaJudas, Dr. David Marquis, Dr. Richard Schultz, Ms. Elizabeth Tucker, and Mr. Jerome Wilson. Thank you for sharing your time and talents with the university. The last group I would like to recognize are very special people. Like the faculty, staff, and administrators of our campus, these individuals have been teachers, counselors, and mentors. However, instead of working with the students for only 4 to 5 years, these people have spent a lifetime with the graduates. They have helped the graduates study, have helped them financially, have hoped and prayed for their student success. And these people have always been in the background, guiding the graduates. And today, too, these people are in the shadows of the graduates. But they don't mind, because today, these people are the very, very proud parents, spouses, and families of the graduates. Therefore, would all the parents, grandparents, husbands, wives, children, and grandchildren please rise and be recognized by the graduates. Please turn to page 45 of your commencement program, and we shall stand, and gentlemen, remove your hats as we join Tiffany Skinner in singing our alma mater, page 45.
All are we future grand and glorious, wrought by loyalty.
The commencement ceremony has been videotaped and will be televised tonight at 6 p.m. on Campus TV 5. The ceremony will also be available on the UWP website, so look for the link off the homepage. Please remain seated until the faculty have left the gymnasium, and the graduates will remain in the gymnasium to greet relatives, friends here. Now, before we conclude, I do have a few final remarks for the graduates. And I think the graduates have heard these remarks before, because it comes from that famous book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, by Dr. Seuss. I do want to read just a few pages from that book to the graduates. Congratulations, graduates. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head and feet in your shoes, and you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own. And you know what you know, and you are the person who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care, and about some you'll say, I don't want to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down just any old street. And you may not find any you want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. But out there, things can happen, and frequently they do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along, because you'll start happening too. You'll be up on your way, you'll be seeing great sights, and you'll join the high flyers and soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang, and soon you'll be taking the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you'll be the top of the rest. Except when you don't. Because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true, that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on and leave you in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. But somehow, you'll escape all that slumping and staying, and you'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. Oh, the places you'll go. There's fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with the ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you on TV. Except when they don't. Because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too, games you can't win because you're playing against you. But on and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far. You'll face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot from your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. You'll move mountains. You'll move mountains. So be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley, Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. Congratulations, graduates, from all of us at UW-Platteville.